Hey guys, welcome to another video from Historic Militaria. Today we're going to be looking at a Red 9 Mauser Broomhandle that was made during World War I as part of a 150,000 gun contract. This one is a little bit interesting because it's actually got a short barrel. And the story behind that is that when Germany was defeated in 1918, the Treaty of Versailles was imposed on them by the victorious Allies. And part of that was that Germany could not have long-barreled pistols in military calibers. So what Germany decided to do was to comply with that by cutting the barrels down of a lot of 9mm broom handles. And those guns were then used for police and paramilitary units, and a lot of these are going to be marked with police units. A lot of those unit markings are actually marketed now by people who don't know as military marks from World War I, and that is almost always not going to be the case. Germany really didn't mark their broom handles with unit markings. So if you see one of these and you see some marks that look like military marks, they're almost invariably going to be police. And we'll take a look at the military marking or police markings on this one, actually. As you can see, the barrel has been cut down. A new sight has been put right there. And the rear tangent sight is gone on this one, and this rear sight, this fixed rear notch sight, has been brazed on. Other than that, it's very standard. Everything else was left the same. You've got your typical sort of dull bluing on it, dull and thin bluing, with a lot of machine marks. These guns were made to just get them out into the field. They certainly still work just fine. They're, absolutely Mauser quality, just they don't look as pretty as your commercial guns did. Also, the Red 9 grips usually are a little bit oversized, especially through here. This one's no exception. The wood to metal finish is not, or fit, is not going to be great on these. This one has all your standard markings with your sort of weakly struck Waffenfabrik Mauser on the side. Again, a lot of machine marks, all that kind of stuff. This one's actually got a little bit of a dent right there in the magazine. Some of these are going to have a Prussian eagle on the front. This one does not. So if you ever come across one of these with a Prussian eagle, that's all that meant. Also, this one does not have imperial acceptance marks right here, so it was not officially taken into use by the German army, but obviously it did stay in German inventory because it was reworked after the Treaty of Versailles. And usually on the front strap here, you're going to see police markings. This is sort of the most common place to find them. Sometimes you'll find them here on the front of the magazine well. I've seen them on the side of the magazine well, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to be right here. And this is SG Roman numeral 5 and then 28 or 29. So that's going to stand for, the S is Schutzpolizei, which I know I am butchering because I don't speak German. And G is, I believe, going to be for the Gummenben region. Again, I'm sure I'm butchering that. And the V is going to be the 5th precinct, and this is gun 29. So it just kind of gives you an idea of how to read these. I am not positive on the G meaning on this one, but I believe that's what that is. The V almost definitely is going to be a just for 5th precinct. So it kind of goes from the type of police, the Schutzpolizei, there was a criminal police with a K and something else which is eluding me. And then you're going to have a sort of a city code like G or B for Berlin or M for Munich, and then almost always a Roman numeral, which is going to be sort of the precinct, and then a gun number. That's pretty typical German and even Austrian format for that. So it just kind of gives you an idea of how to read that. I'm not trying to be in any way like an expert on these. I'm certainly not an expert on German police markings. There's some great books out there and a lot of people who know a lot more than I ever will about that. But this is just a very interesting example of a Red 9 and sort of their Weimar era use. You'll see a lot of these. These are not a super rare variant. A lot of these guns were made. A lot of these guns were used well into the Nazi era and even through World War II. It's a pretty handy gun. You imagine you're a policeman. You've got one of these 10 rounds of 9mm in a pretty compact package. You can attach a shoulder stock if you so desire, since they are cut for that, and you've got pretty hefty firepower. But as always, if you've got one of these, I'd love to hear about your comments. If you can decipher the police markings a little bit better, I'd always welcome that too. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.